Hello, hi everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, a good time wherever you are. This is Shady Aljacky, and you are watching now Supply Chain on Air live show, the weekly show on every Tuesday. Today is episode number 2 in season number 2. If it is your first time to show or to watch this show is caring about supply chain fields. That's why I'm hosting an expert in supply chain fields to discuss the most important topics in supply chain. Before I am introducing my guest of today, I would like to know from where you are watching us and what time is it now in the comments as usual. Also, I would like to mention if you are interested in supply chain fields, if you want to know more about the topics that we are discussing every week, please don't miss this show and the coming ones, inshallah. I will give you 30 seconds to give me some comments from where you are watching us and what time is it now in your country. Mhm. I'm still waiting the comments. Okay, as usual, our lovely friend Nihal Talat. Hello again, Shady from Egypt. Thank you, Nihal. Okay, let me introduce our guest of today. Today, I'm so glad to have an expert in supply chain. He has 17 years of experience in supply chain management in fields of procurement planning, and warehouse management. He has a full awareness with business of supply chain management integrated with SAP material management, with good knowledge of its integration with the other modules like production planning and warehouse management. He has an excellent communicator, analytical, logical, and he is always works towards continuous improvement, and he is always flexible and initiative. He is my friend Mu'taz.
Hello, Shady.
How are you?
Nice to be with you today, and hello, everyone. I'm pleased for this meeting, really.
Thank you, Mu'taz. I would like in the beginning to thank you for the commitment. Although you have some health issues nowadays or today, and you
Yes,
was insisting to join me in this show of today, so I would like to thank you so much for that. Mu'taz, as
this is
usual,
the
I'm giving.
first time with you. I didn't like to be the first impression. I cannot join
No, no,
today.
no, no, no problem. It's out of our hands. So thank you so much to join me today. As usual, Mu'taz, I'm giving the guest a couple of minutes to introduce himself.
Okay,
So tell us who is Mu'taz.
okay. I'm 𝒂𝒂💏 Abd Elmawgoud. I'm production engineer. Graduated 2004 from South Carolina University. I start my career as per the typical case in the production as per my study. Within 3 years, I transfer from company to company, from production to production planning. So I was so lucky because my first big company, which I learned the supply chain. At the time, Shadi was supply chain knowledge is almost new in Egypt. It was in
Yeah, very
AOC.
limited.
The CPIM was at the first run. I think at the time was Shireen from Symbios and engineer Lotfi Nashat, and was all the group Khalid Rashad and Ashraf Nashat, the biggest one in this field at the time, was in the first run in the AOC. And I was in capsule coating at the time, so I studied all of this in the first run. My life is changed when I joined the production planning because I start to study what is the supply chain. I know that knowledge for the first time early. So after short time, I transfer from internal procurement to external procurement. So I see different area from different point of view, and then I later soon I study in AOC, and I study Lean Six Sigma, and I apply a project in capsule coating regarding the cost reduction in the warehouse management. Uh, Later soon, we can adjust a meeting to talk about this, how to reduce the inventory cost with some small lean steps.
Yes.
Everyone can use it and they can have making an impact, good impact in his company. Just it is a very very simple steps. It was my project in capsule coating. So from this point, I go to the another multinational company and I start teaching SAP, because I work from starting in capsule coating with SAP, MM and PP modules. I love it. SAP is not just a tool. Uh, when you go to the configuration, also you be as a doctor. If when the company is suffering, they
Yes.
calling you,
Yes.
see what happened. So when you understand also there is a good relationship and strong relationship between SAP and the supply chain and supply chain knowledge, I see this is the best practice for the supply chain is using the SAP as a ERP. Later soon, there is another kind of ERP already acceptable and applicable, but I see this is not as SAP. It may be more expensive, but the impact is very, very good.
I think
Uh,
Mu'taz, you have a commissioning from Seb.
Yeah. Finally, by the way, I transfer from company to company. I work finally as a supply chain consultant, and I'm sharing the knowledge for free for anyone. Any fresh graduate need to know anything about SAP, about supply chain, just contacting me to arrange a meeting online or offline for free at any time, as we can do that. And I'm already supporting anyone at any project he need my help, my support at any time. I'm doing that.
That's great. That's great, Mu'taz. Thank you for this introduction.
Thank you.
Um, okay, I would like to mention again to the our audience, Mu'taz, he has some health issues today, so maybe this show will be limited according to his health. So I will go fast in the episode of today, and then go into the introduction of our topic of today. As I mentioned, Mu'taz, in my post on LinkedIn 2 days ago, that the top management always caring about the cash flow, cash in and cash out, and procurement represents the cash out. That's why the procurement process is one of the major processes which can enhance the supply chain management and the whole business at all, through affecting on the company's profitability. We can reduce the costs through many techniques, many strategies, like advanced negotiation skills, clear specification, the contract payment terms, and even reducing the consumption itself. But today we will discuss one of the most important and affecting tools, which is cost breakdown structure. So let me go directly to my first question about the topic of today. Give us a brief about the CBS, cost breakdown structure.
Okay. In a simple definition, the cost breakdown structure, or CBS, is represents the cost of the component in the work breakdown structure. It is a good
Yes.
relation. But when you make a work breakdown instruction, the CPS is representing the cost. Okay. Okay. Then uh, when you are going to negotiate the price, the suppliers, why suppliers, I need to mention why supplier is rejecting the CPS at a lot of cases. uh, when he does not have this knowledge, when you would have different culture, he will not accept to apply cost breakdown structure. He will not share any cost of steps or processes,
Mhm.
because he think from the first time, for the first time he will think you are going to cut from his profitability. But the cost breakdown structure, as Bears the book said, we will negotiate anything except your profitability, your profit margin. We will not even
touch.
it is 50%, we will not talk or negotiate your profitability. But maybe we can reduce some cost of processes. This will finally will be for you and for me will be cost saving.
Yes,
uh, so there is a relationship already between the cost breakdown structure CPS and the work breakdown structure. As per the cost breakdown structure is already based on a lot of lines based on the work breakdown structure. It's based on the cost of the material in the work breakdown structure.
exactly. So I could summarize what you had said. It is a terminology within the project management, as I understood, and it's very close linked with what we called work breakdown structure. But also, I would like to add one point. It means this cost breakdown structure will have a good impact on the supplier relation management if he understood what does it mean and how we could proceed with this technique or this tool. So
Yes.
I think it's a challenge to everyone working in the procurement to cascade this message or to cascade this knowledge to the supplier, to understand that we will not touch your profit, we will reduce the cost for me and you. So win-win situation.
Yes.
Exactly. So can I proceed with my second question, Mu'taz?
Yes.
I think it will be as a continuous for the brief you just
Yeah.
mentioned. Why it is important for the company? Why I have, if I am an owner, if I have a company and you are my supply chain consultant, so I will ask you why I have to use this tool.
Okay, that's a great question, Shady, because I have some issues I was talking about, but your question is open the area. I have a real case. I need to talk about it. This is in real in our this current circumstances. Our top management was talking with a one supplier to reduce the cost. Firstly, the trigger came from the supplier, one from A class supplier, talking with the owner. I need to increase the price as per the market already. This is acceptable,
Okay.
but the owner he looking from different point of view. He said, "Okay, this is acceptable to increase the price as per the market circumstances." When he talked to me, I said, let me talk to the supplier, allow me, give me the authority to take the top management level, because when you're talking with the supplier, firstly procurement is talking to the sales department at the supplier another side. This is mainly, this is the problem. First thing, you have to request authority, because when you are talking about cost breakdown structure with the supplier, the sales will be afraid at the first time.
Yes.
So you must have a top management support from the another side.
Okay.
In this case, one from the multinational companies, he is a class A supplier at our company, asking for increasing the price. The owner is almost being accepted. But when he shares this with me, I told him, I don't know what can I do, but let me talk with the people. Let me arrange for a meeting, a business meeting. But I need your authority to give me a support from the another side, top management level. This
Hmm.
already done. I get support from the owner of the company. I meet the people. I arrange for the meeting. What happened was amazing, Shady, because nobody was expected what happened in the another side. I meet the sales manager. I told him regarding the price, we need to reduce the price. He said at the first minute in the meeting, I cannot reduce any single pound. I told him that's okay. He was qualified and already he have a knowledge of the supply chain. He know what, and also they have SAB.
Hmm.
So I asked him. I told him I will not negotiate one single pound in your profitability, but just let us arrange the process. I'm production engineer. Can I visit the production line as per the support what I have from his owner? He said, okay, we can visit the production line. I visit the line. I asked him, I request, can I draw, make a flow chart for the production processes? He said, okay, you can draw flow chart. When we going, I'm just noting in my note, this step, this is step, this is step. And why you are making this? Because your standardization is dimension is blah 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 blah. If you reduce this step, you have any problem? He said, no, I don't have any problem. This is not effective for me. But it cost him almost 10%. 10% from the total material cost. As the next step, why you are making this? Because you're requesting the material in the same month on three shipments. So I have to make a setup cost and remove, and this is
Mhm.
taking me about 6 hours. So the setup cost I noted. Okay. By the way, after we finishing this tour, we going again to the office. I told him I need to reduce the cost of the material by 30%. He said, "Oh my God, no, I cannot." I told him, "Can you bring me the financial manager and the production manager? We arrange another level of meeting with the sales manager, the production manager, and the financial manager." I told him there is some processes as per lean wise. I am as a customer, I didn't need it. When you reduce the dimension of some roll of material from blah 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 to blah blah blah, it is not affected for me. Give it because already I remove some parts, so it's not affected. So I accept the material which in this process without. So please eliminate this process and this process and this process. And what is the cost of it? You cannot imagine, Shadi, we are talking about reducing 200 Egyptian pound. I reduce about 1,500 Egyptian pound. He was talking about increasing price.
Mhm.
But by the way, they put a constraints. They said we cannot make this even these steps lean wise. If we remove it, will reduce the cost as per your product. The MRP department cannot accept for that because we already load the line. I told them, can you bring me the MRP person who is authorized for MRP? I told them, I'm SAP consultant. Bring him to me. He came and sat with us. I told him, regarding the MRP run, are you making a weekly run or whatever?
Monthly.
He said, I'm making a 2 weeks run as per this industry. I told him the best practice is to make a weekly run. Okay, the MBS master production schedule, okay, can schedule monthly, but the MRP run must be weekly. And my product, I asked him, is this already you are making it make to order or make to stock item?
Mhm.
He said, no, it is make to order. I asked him also, what happened if I make it make to order, make to stock, to be as per your make to stock items? He said, this will reduce the cost because, and this is another point, will reduce the cost because I will make the setup time, the
Less.
setup one time, and I
Yes.
will produce all the quantity as per your the commitment. I told him I will send you a sales forecast for the quarter. He said, I don't have any problem to invest in this quarter material because, Shadi, you cannot imagine the cost of this product. The setup cost is very, very, very high because it's taking about 6 hours to change the machine setup, and this is a huge industry. So when he changed the setup in the same month, two, three times, this is making a very big value of the cost. So I told him I have a commitment. I will take my top management approval. I will give you a sales forecast for the quarter. I will give you annual forecast from this moment for 1 year forward. And by the way, he said this will reduce the cost. After all of this, Shadi, we get a cost reduction of 1,500 Egyptian pound. The owner said, I cannot do
Per piece or per ton or what
Burton.
kind of unit? Per ton.
Burton. Yes.
Amazing.
Almost represent about more than 30%.
Oh my god. That was
The
amazing.
best figure is we will not going to reduce the price. The owner Just he want to just fix the price. He will be satisfied if we
With
just
fixing
fix
the
the
price,
price. Yes.
but
What
you gain
happened
more.
was not imagined. He cannot imagine we reduce the price. So he told me, I think they sent the numbers by mistake. I told him, no, no, this is not
No, no,
mistake.
this is
This is a technical negotiation. I changed the layout of the process. And here, this point, Shadi, is the main point of the cost breakdown structure. Firstly, if my colleagues is a fresh graduate or something like that and need to make a great impact, firstly you have to draw the production flow chart
mm,
for the
mhm,
process
it-
with the steps.
yes,
And second point, you have to discuss with the supplier to be honest. I will not negotiate one single pound from your profitability. When you give me a breakdown structure for the steps, maybe I have some supplier for this some item cheaper than and more quality as per your supplier, so I will help you. I
amazing
do this
Mu'taz.
one time. I do this when I was in Capsi. This was the first time to apply a cost breakdown structure, and the culture of this owner was don't have this knowledge, but he trusted
Mm,
on me because I helped him in some problems. So he told me, okay, financial, give him what he asked about. I found some material he bought maybe 40% more the market
and his
price.
requirements.
I bring him a
Oh,
supplier.
oh my God.
I don't, I didn't, this, in this case, there is nothing to do. But just I bring him a supplier. I told him, you are buying this material very expensive. He told me, if you have anyone can supporting me, I just connect him with the one big supplier. He give him 40% less. So my price finally decreases.
Okay, sure, sure.
So the second point, this is a very, very, very important. The supplier must be trust on you. You will not ask or negotiate about his profitability. If you're talking about to reduce it 1%, he will lose the trust and will not apply any cost breakdown structure and will not share any information with you because
Yes,
they think my profitability is the 40%. Yeah, he will give you any for any forward steps. He will give you a wrong data. I will said no. We are our profitability is 10%. We are no losing now. We need to increase the price. He will give you a wrong information all the time
yes,
after that because he lost the
yes,
trust. But when
yes,
he talk with some you present your company someone qualified and honest in this case exactly, and he already supplier have to be trusted, will share you whatever you asked about. And by the way, uh, you are going to help him when you give a favor for him. He will he will not expect that. He just waiting you are coming to negotiate the price to reduce it. But when you said this price is very high, what's the cost of this material? He will say blah blah blah. So you are buying this material expensive. I can help you on this. The profit will be shared with you, and you have reduced it 40%, 20 for you to increase your profit, and the 20 for me to reduce my cost. He will be satisfied. He will
yes.
open the book for you.
Win-win
That's what I
situation.
happen. Yes,
Amazing, amazing case study, Mu'taz, and it seems like in three words we can say supplier relation management. What you had done is supplier
yes,
relation management. You build a trust with your supplier. Give him a visit. You made a tour. You discuss with him his production line, and I think you made some kind of investment with your supplier by giving him
yes. Knowledge.
forecast the knowledge of how to use the MRB to change his technique from make to order to make to stock. That will increase sorry decrease his cost. So you gain and you win, and he win also. So this
Yes,
is win-win situation.
yes.
It was really amazing, Mu'taz, and
Also, we
we
get
can say
Shadi, By
Sorry.
the way,
Yes.
we get also a great result in another issue regarding the plant delivery time.
Hmm.
The lead time for this material was 45 days from the BO date, from the BO date and the activation, because we are talking about BOs with a millions. So you
Hmm.
have to base the deposit from starting from deposit date. The lead time is 45 day. For lead time in the local market, it is يعني, a long time. يعني 45, you maybe you have a critical issue, some batch order for any suppliers, almost for the export. So 45 days it was a very long period. So as per this steps and the rearrange for the process, I reduce the lead time from 45 to 10 days. So we reduce 35 days.
Wonderful.
Almost, Shady, by the way, we reduce the cost of carrying cost of the inventory, because
For
if
him,
I'm carrying cost for me, he
for
already
you and for him, by the way.
for him, he have the authority. He is having a billion
Hmm.
warehouse and the investment. So
Mm-hmm.
it's not a value for him. But for me, I'm having already stocked as per the period to cover the period of 45 days. When the delivery
Yes.
time being 10 days, so I didn't need to carry in my warehouse all of this quantity. So I reduce already the stock for this item as per the new period.
Hmm.
So my investment already in the warehouse, in my warehouse, already reduced from about 10 million to 3 million, because
Amazing.
I didn't interested or going to invest in this item in my warehouse to put up to 10 million. No, I need this cash to
Mm.
put it in another issues. And by the way, the supplier carrying the responsibility to produce the quarter quantity, and he carrying it in his warehouse. I give him the plan. You just produce as if you have some period. He didn't have big orders. Produce all the quantity. It is his authority, and I have gentleman agreement and approved from the two owners. And we all of this quantity we have to take it. If we will stop this item totally, I will take each single kilogram you have. And by the way, I reduce the lead time. The impact of reducing the lead time uh, is making a great saving, about 7 million, Shadi.
MashaAllah.
7 million, and you can per month, because the cost of carrying costs for
Yes,
this
sure, sure.
item
Because the reorder point is
directly reduced.
linked with the lead time.
Yes,
So you
yes,
reduce it from 45 to 10 days. I think it's 70%, something like that,
yes,
of reduction
yes,
of the lead time. So for
yes,
sure, the reorder point will be decreased and your stock value will be decreased. This is what we call the pull-web effect. We made one single action maybe with the owner, sorry, with the supplier by reducing his steps using lean technique. Then it affects all the other steps in the supply chain management. That's
yes,
amazing, Mu'taz.
yes,
Amazing and a great case study. So I would like to summarize also what we had said
yes,
regarding the importance of the WPS. So it gives us a better control in the cost and the budget. Also, it give us a better insight that help you tracking your cost as you did in your case study. Also, it can be used as a reference for the price estimation. I think if you are going to make a price estimation using this technique or this tool, you could have a better estimation for the pricing. So let me ask you one more question. I don't want to make it more. I know you're not
no, no, no problem.
happy today.
I need,
So
but actually, I just need to mention some issue. I remember it because we are talking
sure.
about the lead time. Also, some from one case study maybe help our colleagues. One time I was facing problem in this, so delaying in POs regarding some printed metal cans, like the paint industry or the milk industries, any supplier, or the food industry like Savola or something like this. The printed metal cans is a bottleneck and a common item in this company. So I have at the time a lot of POs, pending POs for a period at the supplier. Supplier giving us 30% delivery date, and the orders is delayed more than this period. The owner, he asked me at the time. I was a procurement planning, and I was managing the packaging development. I was not the pure procurement at the time. He asked me to develop this process. The procurement department said we cannot do anything. This is a bottleneck as a supplier, without going and seeing and negotiate. You know, my ex manager, he have a word from the lean and the Japanese continuous improvement called Gemba. Gemba means go and see. When I told him there is blah 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 blah, only Gemba. I understand. I'm going and see. Go and see.
I
When you
see.
go and see, everything you become different. Your point of view, your eye,
Sure.
not like my eye. So I visit the supplier. At the first time, Shadi, I found a huge inventory from our product, but not the current product. The product already deleted, sorry, and become inactive. I said him,
Obsolete.
what is
So it
this?
becomes obsolete items.
Well, exactly. I delete these items. What all of this? He said nobody inform us, and we was investing as this was a common item. We produce print metal, sheet metal, for a big quantities. I asked him about the value. He said this is almost 7 million. This was in 2009.
Oh my god.
This is a great value, a very big
Yeah.
value. I
Before
told
inflation.
him, "What is this? Yeah, what will do in this in this material?" He said, "I don't know. After a time, we will sell
Still
it
as a
as a
scrap.
scrap."
Scrap.
What? I called the owner. I told him the issue. He told me you have all the authority. Just discuss with the sales and marketing if you have any suggestion and do it. I called the sales manager and marketing manager in a conference call. I told them we have an issue for this supplier. It's one from our A supplier. I'm going at the time to reduce the material, the lead time just only. I found this when I go. Nobody talk. He already talked with the procurement. I have some material making 7 million, but no, nobody help him. I know all of this when I visit him. So my main mission for the meeting with this supplier is reducing the cost from 30 days to be 50 days.
Hmm.
15 days will be accepted for the company, will be satisfied. So I told the sales and marketing manager we have an issue. I suggest to make a promotion on this old material, old design product, and we can. I suggest also slogan, not only with old shape, also with old price. They accepted at the time over phone. I accept. I accept. We release the promotion, and we take all the material from this supplier. You cannot imagine this man how be helpful for me because he was thinking this material, this value is already lost.
Lost. Yes.
7 million in a warehouse called inactive material warehouse. He named it. This is the inactive material inventory warehouse. So I take it. You cannot imagine. I get a market share with the new price and this new promotion with the levels. We was not targeting this level because we reduce the cost for procurement. So and also the cost of the finished product. So we get a customers we will not in our scope.
Hmm.
Okay. And by the
Yes.
way, I got the bottleneck. Why you are giving us 30 days? He said, because of this reason. See this problem which you just solved it?
He
I
has no
was
space.
printing, I was printing. No, no, I was printing the material. because the bottleneck is the printer, the metal
Mhm.
printer. So
Mhm.
I'm printing when I'm free, printing all every item you are working with and keeping stock as a printed. But because you refuse to take this material, I start printing after receiving the order.
Mhm. Mhm.
So the process is duplicated. I told him, that's okay. I will give you a quarter printing plan. And even I will stop item will be with me, will not procurement. I will give you, if you have a stock, I will double check with you. Do you have any work in process? Because procurement, it does not going to this point. And when they check, do you have stock? No. The sales said no, because there is no stock in the warehouse, but maybe there is a work in process.
Mhm.
Okay. So I told him I will give you a printing plan for your our material, okay, for the quarter. He was satisfied. Shadi, you cannot imagine, I reduced the delivery time from 30 days to 3 days
Oh my God, that's
because
amazing.
he print the material, keep it just, he was just rolling and finishing and packaging. We
Yes,
have a stock. He
he
are
has a
sharing
lot of
with
stock.
us. This case study, the owner at the time who was not, imagine we reduced the lead time to 3 days. 3 days. This making
I would
impact.
advise you, Mu'taz, to make an articles about these two case studies. Really,
Yes,
you can share it on
I like to.
LinkedIn.
Yeah, I like to because this.
Will help for many people work in the same area.
Yes, 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 yes.
And you know something, I got to one point from this case study during delivering some courses or the on supply chain. In the first session for me in the supply chain, I always uh, focusing on one word: information. Information. Put
Yes,
100 lines under this word. I
yes,
think this case study, the first mistake was the information feasibility or information flow between you and the supplier.
correct.
I'm not talking about you as a Mu'taz. I'm talking about your company
Company.
and
Yes,
and the
yes,
supplier. The information flow was not healthy. You know, we
yes,
have four flows in supply chain, and one of the most important flow, which is information
yes,
between the customer, between the supplier, between the manufacturer, between the three entities.
yes,
So I think the first mistake was in the information. That's why the supplier also take a risky decision to produce this amount. You mentioned 7 million, and that was in 2009, which mean I
yes,
think a huge amount of
yes,
printed
yes,
cans. That's also wrong decision from his side. He should take care about this decision, or to revise his division with the customer. You are his customer. He should give you a call or email, official email. We are printing this amount. Are you going to use it? Do you have a plan? Do you have a forecast? Something like that. Also, he has another mistake, but the mistake starts from the information. I just want to point out this issue because I'm
yes,
always keen to say information.
yes,
My colleagues in every company
yes,
I'm working for, please, let's make the information easy, clear, visibility, flow smoothly between all the departments. It's not a
yes.
top secret. Why I'm hiding the information? Shall it help me in something or promote me to get a higher position? Totally wrong. We have to clear this concept with our colleagues and the organization, corporate. I always see this in the most companies I worked for. I just
And
want to
Shadi,
highlight
also,
this.
yeah, I'm totally agreed with you. The trust, Shadi, the supplier, when he loses the trust on you, you cannot do anything with him.
Yes, sure.
For sure, because in this case, the supplier, he from his point of view, he's saying this is a high consumption rate items, so print it, print it, print it. When the production manager asked about this item, this was a family business, big company, but family business managing by the owner. The family business in Egypt, what happened? The owner is taking the decision because he's saying this item regarding what company is this company? Oh, this big company, print, 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 without sharing this information, I highlight also information with us. And
Yes.
when you're talking with the procurement is I see him execution department. When he said for the procurement responsible, I have 100,000 from this item. He said, I send you BO. No, 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 I am not responsible for that. For the first time, he will refuse
Yes. Yes.
to just try to solve
Yes. Yes.
because
He
just
kicked the ball. He kicked the ball.
just exactly, and all the people making this
Yes.
because this is a headache. I will not go to this headache. Why? I'm not part of this. I'm not involved. I didn't ask you. I didn't ask you to print this material, so you have to take the authority. So the supplier, by the way, he carrying the mistake. He carries a ball of shit alone.
Yes.
So
Yes.
he be afraid to make any enhancement after that.
Mm.
But when we solve this, you cannot imagine after I solve this case, when I call the owner to change any layout in his production way, he said, Mr. Mu'taz have the authority which I have. When he said anything in a visit, don't ask me, do it at the time.
Good.
So this kind of trust and authority, you cannot reach it easily in the business.
Yes. Sure. Sure. That's amazing, Mu'taz.
So
This
also, I
took
need you to
a
highlight
study.
on the trust, Shady. I need you to highlight on the trust point between the supplier
Sure.
and
Sure.
the company.
Trust is something we couldn't bring easily. We have to build it. Trust like a building. If we lose any layer of this trust of the building of trust, we maybe collapse the whole trust. And I think that the supplier was going to collapse the trust between his company and your company unless you save him by your new idea by using this old printed can or design. So I think you rebuild again this trust, and I
Yes.
think it's not an easy to think about this. You made something out of the box. I really appreciate. I would like to clap for you.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
Mu'taz.
you, Shady.
Thank you, Mu'taz. I think we took maybe now 42 minutes. So if I could close with a final question.
Yes.
Uh, we said in the beginning that the cost breakdown structure is very close to work breakdown structure.
Yes.
Could you, in simple points, give us the difference between these two terminologies?
Okay. So I need to explain a point. For the work breakdown structure, uh, mainly it is about breaking the work into smaller tasks. Okay. Uh, it is a productivity technique. Mainly, it is a productivity technique used to make the work more manageable and approachable. Okay. The work breakdown structure the cost breakdown structure, sorry, is
Okay.
already being based on or depend on the work breakdown structure because I will send you some flow chart to share with our colleague later soon. You can share it.
We can put it in
Flow
the
chart.
comment, by the way. You can put it in the comment.
What is the flow chart of the work breakdown structure? Just allow me for 1 second. In the work breakdown structure, Shadi, we have the total value is about selling price. Okay, selling price include profit margin. This is a segment. Okay, and the bidding cost, geometry preparation cost. This is another segment, and there is the third segment is the product cost. Okay, the product cost including two segments, the manufacturing cost. Okay, manufacturing cost already carrying FDM cost, this which have the material delivery cost, supporting cost, the model cost, the substarter cost, machine rate cost, calibration cost, unloading setup and unload energy, non-productive cost. Okay,
Mhm.
this about in the selling price. profit margin, and also another two segment. Okay, uh, one of them, when you are talking about the production, production cost, this already have a direct relation with the work breakdown structure. We are breaking the processes to a small process and small
Mm-hmm.
tasks, which you can eliminate some of them. When you
Mm-hmm.
making a flow chart for the work breakdown structure, it's mainly being used, and the cost breakdown structure depend on this. We can making some small lean project. We can eliminate this material. Maybe you found some step. There is one worker just polishing this material at this site. I said, why? What's the cost of them? Blah blah blah. I don't need it. Give it to me. It is not having value. I'm printing it. Have a chemical treatment. So this polishing, for example, have it is
No
not
need for
added
this
value
step.
for me,
Yes, yes.
and you will for believe me 100% you found two or more step non-added value. Just we are going to reduce the non-added value steps in the work breakdown structure, and it will have a direct impact in the cost breakdown structure.
Sure. So also I could summarize your answer maybe in two
Yes,
points. I think WBS represents the all tasks that needs to be done within the project or within the scope of the work.
yes,
And CPS represent all the cost categories for that needed to be purchased for that tasks in the
yes,
work breakdown structure. I think this maybe summarize
yes, yes,
your
yes,
answer.
yes, exactly, exactly.
Mu'taz, really this episode one of the most important episodes I had done in my
Thank you, Shady. Thank you, Shady. It's
series
my
of supply
pleasure.
chain layer. Thank you so
I
much.
need,
You really
I need to have a photo.
yeah, sure, sure. Thank you, Mu'taz. Really, you add a lot of value in this show. I suggest all my followers to see the recorded video of today. Really, you will gain a lot of information. Mu'taz mentions two important case studies. I think you could use the same concept, not the same steps maybe, but the same concept. You could use it in your thinking and how to reduce the cost. I'm not talking only about the procurement. In every single department in the company, it should play in this area how to reduce the cost in his process. By the end, the profitability will be increased, and this is the aim or the target of each department in the business. Mu'taz, thank you so much. I really appreciate your commitment. You joined me today
Thank
despite
you,
you have
Shady.
some healthy issues today. uh, Thank you so much. I have nothing to say
Thank you,
else.
Shady.
If you have something to say, you're
It's my
you're
pleasure to be
welcome.
with you. Really, I'm really interested, and it was a very nice interview. And thank you, and for all the followers and all which will see this video. I need to thank everybody. I'm already satisfied and interested. It was a very amazing minutes.
Shukran, shukran, Mu'taz. Thank you so much. And
Okay,
see you, inshallah, in another episode, inshallah.
okay, Shadi. Thank
Thank you
you,
very much.
thank you, Shadi.
Thank
Thank you very much. Thank
you.
you.
Thank
Okay,
you. Bye
bye
bye.
bye.